Hey, what is happening, guys? What is going on YouTube? It is Johnny with Rules for Rebels, and it is that time of month. We are doing September Amazon merch numbers. For those of you guys who watch my channel, for the past few months, every month at the end of the month, I do a recap letting you guys know what my merch numbers were for the previous month. I think it's kind of fun to do. I'm always curious to kind of see what other people are doing and see how I stack up a bit against others. And I'm guessing that you guys are the same way. So I figured I'd share my numbers with you guys, as well as, any tips on what's working for me, what's not working for me, etc. So if you guys want to kind of join in the conversation as well, feel free to drop in the comment section below your merch numbers, what you're finding that's working, what's not working for you, or any other tips you want to share. I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure your fellow YouTubers and fellow merch sellers would like to hear that as well. So we'll hop over here to the merch numbers. Last month, August, I'd actually set a record both in terms of the total number of shirts sold as well as my earnings. So I figured I'd put August numbers up here as well so you can kind of see how September stacked up against August. Before I get into this, I figured I'd just kind of comment really quickly. Even though I sold more shirts this month, I actually made less money. And the reason for that, I've been lowering the cost of my shirts. Before, I was doing almost everything at $19.99 or $19.95 or whatever the base price is. I've been lowering my shirts to about 16 bucks. Some shirts, if it's like a one-off holiday shirt, if it's National Donut Day or Father's Day or Cinco de Mayo, something like that, I realize people are probably only going to wear the shirt one time, or they're going to wear it one time and then throw it in a drawer till next year. So those shirts I try to price cheaper. Sometimes I'll price them at like $12 or, basically to the point where I'm making 40 cents just to hopefully rack up some sales and help myself tier up. But generally I'm sticking at around $16. If I have a really great design, I might keep it at 19 bucks. If you stick with merch, you will grow, you will become more successful. Like I've told you guys, I'm not a graphic designer by trade. My graphic design skills are pretty weak, but I've been consistent in getting designs up there. And it's continued to grow. Within probably the past 6 months, I had 1 month where I only made $1.96 in commissions and sold one shirt. So to go from selling one shirt a month within the past couple months and getting it up to 36, 48 shirts, in my book is pretty good. I'm really happy with kind of the growth of it. But let's get right into earnings. So total earnings, which is basically my commission. Last month I did $181.17. This month a little bit less, still a good month in my book, $168.12. Total sales last month was $658.45. This month was $753.60. So again, I've sold more shirts but made less money. Total shirts sold last month, August, or 2 months ago, August, I did 36. This past month, September, I did 48. This is actually a typo. In August, I had 0 cancellations. And my entire merch career, I've never had a cancellation up until recently. This month, I had 3 cancellations. So I guess you could say I actually wound up selling, 51 shirts, but 3 of them were canceled. The total number of designs sold is, last month was 19, this month is 20. And the most shirt sales of a single shirt, last month was 6, this month, one particular shirt of mine sold 12. There was one stat I wanted to mention and I forgot to check. So I'm going to pause the video and go over and check this real quick. Okay, and what I wanted to check was how many shirts I have live right now. So within the past month or two, I tiered up to 500 shirts. Right now, I have 188 shirts live. Obviously, I've got a lot of room to go. Merch is a numbers game, as we always talk about, so I really got to get some more shirts up there. I had a lot more shirts, but I did have a number of shirts which didn't sell, and that obviously, after 90 days, they get removed. So I probably just recently had 50 or 60 shirts removed. So I really kind of got to step it up and get more shirts up there. But overall, very happy with September numbers. And then lastly, I figured I'd show you guys really quickly. This is just kind of going back to May of 2016, what I earned every month. So 24, I'd start doing good, and then it'd fall back. At 24, 50, down to 13. Didn't sell any August of 2013. 12, 6, pretty bad, nothing. $106 last December, which, pretty good, but Christmas you see a pickup, down to 12 bucks. We had some growth up to 30, back down to $1.94, and this is just within the past few months. April 20 bucks, May 40 bucks, June $139. I'm not sure why things fell off in July, but had kind of a poor July. But August was 184, and then if we come back on over where I'm not finding my file. Oh, here we go. Um, and in this month, 168. So overall, pretty happy with where the numbers are at. As far as what's working, when you find, assuming you have a good number of shirts, if you don't have a lot of inventory to work with in terms of the number of shirts you can come up with, I would try out a lot of different niches and topics and things like that. But once you start tiering up and you have some real estate to work with, if you find a niche that's working, definitely double down, triple down, continue making shirts in that niche. We'll also kind of trying some other things. I've mentioned big, bold designs before. That's been working for me. I've kind of lowered the price point of my shirts. Before everything I was listing at the top price of $19.99. I've kind of dropped it down to around $16. And for really specialty shirts, down to $12, $13, $14. And I've also kind of started doing a lot of, there's almost some kind of weird holiday every day, National Donut Day, National Fingernail Day, whatever. Find a calendar of those dates. You can make some goofy shirts. You're probably not going to get a ton of sales, but if you're running out of ideas or running out of ideas for shirts to make, that's always kind of an easy way to come up with some topics. So hopefully we can have an even better month next month. Things are getting really good. I've noticed that consistently I'm selling, a few shirts every day, whereas before it was kind of sporadic. And that's one thing about lowering the cost of your shirts. Yeah, you're going to make less, but I think in the long run, you're going to wind up selling more shirts. And the more shirts you sell, the more that listing is going to get kind of a kickstart. The BSR or bestseller ranking is going to improve, and that in turn is going to help you sell more shirts. So I think in the long run, by lowering the cost of your shirts, you're going to sell more, and in turn eventually wind up making more money. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. As far as like other tips and things like that, I don't have a ton to share. One thing I'm going to be putting a focus on is learning a bit more about typography. Typography is basically I don't know if you want to say like the study of different like fonts and characters and things like that. You really don't have to do incredibly detailed shirts that take you a long time to design. Most shirts are going to be, just simple text shirts. But I think by varying up the fonts and kind of the design of the text, it makes the shirt a little bit more interesting and you're going to sell more. Even, seasoned designers who are very capable of making detailed designs seem to say it's not really worth dumping a lot of time into a design because at the end of the day, you never really know what's going to sell. So that's kind of my tips. That's my numbers for the month. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you guys want to share your numbers, tips, what's working, etc., drop it in the comment section below. And I'll catch you guys later. If you enjoyed the video, please thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.